unfortunately, the ANC is very good in diagnosing its problems. The problem is providing solutions to the diagnosis. The deployments are done wrongly. Because someone is good at singing, at chanting slogans, or doing whatever thing which Mandash is not happy with. We think this person can be a leader. Take one of the highest ranking officials of the ANC to lead in all these metros. And I'll tell you the reason why that will work. It will work because in these municipalities, because they are peers, they don't respect one another. I think what South Africa should learn is that we need to be patient. We were a very impatient lot, we're a very impatient nation, which want results today, not tomorrow.
It's just 2 days before Christmas of 2025. We are lucky that we are able to get Sello Moloto. He's the ambassador of South Africa in Switzerland. He's well known as the former premier of Limpopo province. He was the second premier after democracy taking over from Mr. Ramatlodi. We're visiting him today just to chat a bit about the state of the country, what is happening, where has he been, what has he been up to. Because honestly, when people become ambassadors, we just forget about them, those leaders, and they just disappear. We don't hear much about them. And Tate Moloto, welcome, and thanks for making time for us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Just for those who don't know, maybe let's start from the beginning. You were the premier of this province. At that time, I was a young journalist in this province as well. So I remember very well the first time I met you, still clear in my mind. My first day, actually, to start work here. I met you at somebody's house, but there were a lot of regular people. It was a very casual gathering. You came there, chat with people, friend, and you left. And I was really surprised that this premier just goes and visit common people. And that was back then. A long time ago, around maybe 2000 could have been 2007, 2008. But let us start there. And your premiership in the province, you were a premier, I think, for one term. Back then, when you look back, the challenges and the successes, what do you think right now in 2025?
No, look, I always say to people, I regard myself as have been lucky that the ANC gave me an opportunity to lead at that time.
Yes.
And that time was before this chaos which we see now. We led at a time when the ANC was still respected by the people out there. And there was still some resemblance of order within the ANC. And things started going south in 2005 after the famous press conference of Ndadin Bulelani Nguga and everything which flew from there. But that didn't take away the privilege and the prestige which some of us enjoyed of leading a respected ANC.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you didn't lead for a long time, obviously. I think it was one term. Your term was one.
It was one term.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether you still remember what did you really want to achieve and what were your hopes at that time when you were still the premier?
Look, what happened was I led a region of the ANC.
Yes.
And Waterberg then
Yes.
And I enjoyed leading the region then, because the focus was on making sure that we improve the lot of our people.
Yes.
And I had the privilege of serving as the MEC for Health and Welfare.
Yes.
And ultimately Premier. So it's not like I just woke up and became a Premier.
Yeah.
So the privilege I'm talking about and the prestige starts from the time when I was a leader of a region in the ANC.
Yes.
And becoming an MEC. And after that, the Premier of the province.
Yeah, you really.
And at that time, when I was MEC,
yes,
and then Premier, things were good, and you felt good to be associated with the ANC and what the ANC was doing for the people of South Africa and Limpopo in particular.
Yeah, it was all before the noise. And fast forward into the Polokwane conference, which many people, I believe you think so as well, that it was a turning point for the ANC and even for the country.
No, true. Fortunately at that time, I was sitting in the NEC of the ANC, and the debate in the NEC was the ANC conferences needed to be rotated within all the provinces of South Africa.
Yes.
And we argued very hard as Limpopo that we've been contributing the highest percentage of support for the ANC.
Yeah.
And therefore, the ANC must reciprocate by giving the people of Limpopo a chance to host the ANC.
Yeah.
And the debate was that there's no infrastructure big enough to accommodate an ANC conference, national conference. I remember telling the NEC that, look, I believe very strongly that the conference must come to Limpopo, because this is going to be the last ANC conference, a respectful ANC conference.
Is it?
If we don't get this opportunity,
yeah,
the time you bring it to Limpopo, the ANC will not be the same.
You could see that at that time.
No, the signs were clear. The signs were clear that the ANC was not going to be the same after Polokwane conference. And
yeah,
I still don't understand why everybody couldn't see it that way, because it was clear to everyone that Polokwane was a turning point, and it indeed became. And I told them that Polokwane will remain the point of reference for the ANC for eternity.
For eternity. Yeah, exactly. And at that time, well, there was Jacob Zuma, Mbeki, Mr. Thabo Mbeki was the president. President Jacob Zuma was the deputy. There was the issue of President Mbeki recalling, or rather removing President Zuma, Deputy President Zuma back then. And then that's when we realized that there was a bigger rift. The ANC was being divided into pro-Mbeki, pro-Zuma, whatever. Those, I think, going to Polokwane then, those were the two major factions. And at that time, if I remember well, you stuck with President Mbeki. What was your thinking back then?
No, our belief was a simple one, that the ANC needed to be united more than before. And we felt that, look, even Mbeki has done his 2 terms in government, he can still remain the ANC president and the leader of the ANC, and his deputy or any other person can become the president of the country. Whether it's Zuma or Nkosazana or whoever, our view was that the ANC actually we were looking at the polarization which was there. That the way the ANC was polarized at that time, it was not going to be easy for any new leader to bring the ANC together. Therefore, you better start with what you have and try to resolve whatever differences which were there.
Yeah. But then it was seen as, it was going to cause the two centers of power, and Mbeki was going to basically, as they say, lead the country from the grave.
Look, those were contradictory terms, because even the people who were advocating for Zuma's presidency were arguing that the ANC is the center. And if that was the principle, generally accepted principle, that the ANC is the center, union buildings supposed to be reporting to the ANC, then the concept of two centers of power is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
The question is, the ANC needed to be matured enough to be able to say, what are the challenges of our day and time? How do we overcome these challenges which we have and move on from there?
Yeah. Beside the principle that you've just explained, that the reason why you and other people, your comrades, were supporting Mbeki for a third term as ANC president, were your reasons for supporting Mbeki, not Zuma, also based on the individuals, the characters?
Look, the truth is that the ANC was facing challenges, and I always argue that every generation regards its own challenges as the ones bigger than the previous generations which were there. But we felt at that time that we needed someone who's well-grounded to guide the ANC at that time, dealing with all those problems, because the signs were already beginning to show that if the ANC was not going to be focusing on growing the economy and improving the lot of our people, it was going to be rendered irrelevant. It doesn't matter who was leading it then. And what you needed the most was the brain power which was there within the NEC to make sure that you carry this vision forward.
But the way you're explaining it, it was a sensible thing to do at that time. Why do you think people just felt, no, that's not right?
The truth of the matter is that there were many wounded lions at the time. And some of us didn't realize the depth of anger and hate which many comrades were carrying at the time. And when you are angry and hurt, you don't listen to the voice of reason. You close up to any logical and rational debate. And that's what led to where we are. And unfortunately, even after President Zuma was brought in, and subsequently President Ramaphosa, every NEC collective continued with the deepening of the hate of other comrades. And we are now at a point where many people you talk to are very angry with the ANC, and you can see it even with the number of key comrades who were born and bred in the ANC, having the guts to leave the ANC in the manner in which they do. And we seem not to be saying what might be the reasons for this hate? Obviously, we may not solve all the problems which are there. But just like people who go to the church, or in case of a funeral or a bereavement in the family, going to the family and bringing people together to hear what their concerns are and all of that would have gone some way in understanding what are the problems and what are the possible causes of action. But at the moment, everyone is head at their corner, and there are no prospects of turning the situation around as far as I see.
But I would like to ask, what do you think was the root cause of everything? Because recently, President Begi has said, the DG then, Mr. Frank Shikane, told him that, look, the comrades are saying they removed you because the problem is yourself. And when he asked why, he said, look, the comrades are saying you are not even giving them a little chance to have something from the state and put in their pockets.
Look, my view is that the problem is deeper than that. The problem is deeper than that in the sense that if you look at the history of the ANC, particularly people who were in exile, they depended on the ANC for everything. They get food from the ANC, get clothes from the ANC, their marriages and everything taken care of by the ANC. And so they led a dependent type of life. And coming back, they get exposed to new conditions altogether where they needed to fend for themselves and do that at the time when the expectations were too high. I was lucky to go to Parliament in 1994. And it was very surprising that when we got there, 6 months to a year after inauguration of Parliament, many of the comrades were indebted. They were combated with the credit cards and all these new things which were never there in our lives. And jiggy, you are in debt, you can't pay the debt from the credit card and many other things. We neglected basic things that we were not used to this type of life. And moreover, we are Africans. We come from this background of what do you call black tax. Everyone in the family expected something from you. And those things made people to be highly indebted and lived beyond their means. And as they lived beyond their means, the expectations were there, they needed to deliver. And because of indebtedness and all those other problems, then they got tempted in doing other wrong things. And if you don't analyze the situation deeper, you would think that others would have done it for consumption purposes or greed or conspicuous consumption. But others would have been forced by circumstances to find themselves in such a situation, and the pressure and the pride of being honorable and the big title we're carrying, and the burden from our family backgrounds. So for me, it's not like it was purely the issue of people just want to be corrupt. It was conditions which forced them to be in that situation. And unfortunately, the ANC did not analyze this thing deeply. And even today, when people talk about these things, they look at it superficially and don't understand that, look, where we come from, with the expectations which were there, we thought that we could resolve all the problems. Our generation, liberation generation, could solve all the problems and lead normal type of lives.
Yeah.
When in fact, leading a normal type of life with the comfortable wealth is an intergenerational thing. It can't be achieved by one generation. It has to come through if you ask me, the third and fourth generation is supposed to be the one which is living in the luxury which you see now among black people.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the disconnect which is causing all the trouble. And the ANC, after some time, initially when we started, there were good programs like RDP of the soul, moral regeneration, and others condemning conspicuous consumption.
Yes.
But as time goes on, those sins were like sort of encouraged and no longer condemned the way they used to. I was giving an example with some other comrades when we were debating about this issue, that at that time when comrades were indebted in parliament, you had Mandela and Tutu talking about gravy train on the one hand, and you had comrades highly indebted on the other side with these credit cards. So it was contradiction of terms, and
they were feeling they were not being paid enough.
And the demand to increase the salaries and all of that was there, and there was big pressure, and so we started on a wrong footing, if you ask me, that we didn't analyze our situation correctly, and we didn't bring everything together to say, how do we manage this thing going forward? How do we create a good balance between people's expectations and the reality in their families, in their clans, and all of that? Because at the end of the day, if you see me singing or doing whatever I do out there in public, when I get home, I'm faced with the family, I'm faced with the clan, which has got more expectation than ordinary people out there.
No, that is true, and I must say, maybe it's the first time I hear somebody analyzing it the way you are analyzing it. What we've been getting have been superficial analysis of it, but I think you've hit it on the nail. Just to go back again.
And maybe just to end on that point. I had the privilege of working outside the country. I worked a short while in Mozambique, Lesotho, Finland, and Switzerland now. And the truth of the matter is, even on the issue of corruption, the manner we look at it, sometimes, or most of the times, we conflate corruption with maladministration. And I always say, in most of these countries, what you term corruption in South Africa is happening in those countries, but particularly in the developed world, in Europe and everywhere else. But they have succeeded in putting better labels to this thing. What do you call a bribe or whatever? They call it a commission or facilitation fee or whatever other name.
And they legitimize it.
And it gets legitimized, and it's flagged in the planning process. But with us, because of lack of experience and knowledge and all of that, we don't incorporate all these things in the planning process or budgeting process. And then we think about it after effect. And it becomes a bribery or whatever. And it's not called by its rightful name of facilitation, commission, or whatever other fee which advanced democracies and nations have come to reach that point.
Okay.
And it's done formally, facilitation fee, commission,
Yes.
or even entertainment budget.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So with us, we don't have those, or we don't factor it in our planning processes, and it becomes a big issue. And unfortunately, the people who make noise about these things are the ones who have given theirs better names.
Yeah, I get you. It's another way of looking into it. Now I'm looking at it differently. Yeah, but why do you think it's that? Why are we backward about it? Because it's well known that if you strike a deal, obviously somebody has to facilitate that deal. Do you call that corruption?
You ask me. I'm telling you how other people are doing it.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that it goes back to the expectations which we had from 1994. We had very high expectations, and we put too much pressure on ourselves. And I think we are doing it the African way.
Yeah.
In the African way, with Ubuntu and everything, we are always prepared to work for charity.
Yeah.
People who do facilitation or don't expect commissions and all those other things.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's not factored in the planning process. And we are told by those who do it that this is corruption.
Yeah, while it's normal in their own countries.
And we expect it because we are not well informed, we are not well educated with those areas. Some of the fights which are there are not necessary. They are manufactured by enemies of our democracy in order to hold us back.
While we are on that, because you've mentioned you've been you have worked in European and African countries, what lessons do you think South Africa can learn in some of the countries you've been to, whatever it may be in terms of education, maybe the health system, maybe whatever?
I think what South Africa should learn is that we need to be patient. We were a very impatient lot. We're a very impatient nation, which want results today, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
As if even whether you're building a house or a road or whatever, we want it finished yesterday, when in fact it normally has to take some time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the political leadership is falling into this trap of wanting to catch up with the pace of that pressure of impatience. Because in my view, if you look at the RDP houses, the manner in which we are going about it is not addressing the problem which is there. The problem which we have is apartheid spatial planning.
Yeah.
And RDP houses are built far away from centers of urban centers.
Yeah.
And I understand the reason, because when you have to build these standalone sites, and just like when you are plowing in a field and you throw the seed all over, it was supposed to be, and if you do it and you do densification in the urban centers, because of its complexity of the putting up the building and everything, it has to be multi-year sort of projects.
Okay.
Maybe instead of having 500 or 5,000 a year, you might end up with having 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah.
But because we have got a pressure of wanting to count the numbers and say we've built so much in a year and all of that, we end up undermining the important policy of densification and getting our people closer to their places of work.
Yeah.
And dealing with the apartheid spatial planning.
And it even compromises the quality of
the quality is not good. Transport is far away from where people work. Actually, we complicate the problem instead of, if you look at the investment which has been done, which is very impressive on housing.
Yes.
But unfortunately, those houses, RDP houses, are far away from the urban centers where people can work. It brings new hardships of money for transport and long distances, accidents, and all of that. People waking up very early in the morning and coming up very late at night because of the distance. So I'm saying to you, if we're a patient nation and understand what our priorities are and work systematically with those priorities, we would have been very far. Actually, if you look at the amount of money which we inject in our in the projects which we run as a nation, I don't think there are very few countries or nations which are doing what the South African government is doing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because the implementation of these policies is wrong, we end up not achieving the intended objectives.
We're rushing too much. I think
we must be patient. That's why I'm saying, if you ask me what needs to be done with what is the problem with the South African nation, is patience.
Yeah.
You need patience. If I was in Finland, you ask about education.
Yes.
Finland's education policy is regarded as the best in the world in terms of outcomes. And if you ask them, they have never changed their education policy for the past 50 years.
Wow.
You ask me, how many times have we changed our policy?
Yeah.
You have even forgotten the names of the policies which have been there within 30 years.
I remember the first one, outcome-based.
Outcome-based or what-based. We don't know where it is now.
Yeah, but what makes the Finland system work and to be the best in the world?
I'm saying they're patient with what they want to do and what they want to achieve, and they give themselves enough time to make sure that it works. You can't make things work if you make the decision today that this is what I'm going to do, and after 2-3 days you change like that. You will always be changing, and therefore at the end you don't know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah,
I'm just giving you an example of the education system.
Exactly,
and it goes along with the rest of the other policies which we have, and it revolves around the issue of patience.
Yeah.
We're an angry nation.
I do get you. Just to ask you this question, if you were in the US right now at this point as an ambassador, how would you deal with the Trump and his tantrums and the relationship between South Africa and the US?
Look, if my understanding is that policy formulation, policy implementation is not a once-off thing. If it was me, and that's what I think South Africa must do, must take a long-term view. They shouldn't want to go toe-to-toe with Trump. They should focus on our own foreign policy and try to make the US administration understand where we come from and why we think our policy is right. And it will depend on the US administration whether they accept what we say or they don't. And in terms of diplomacy, you can't force any nation to relate with you in a different way. You can only, because diplomacy, the good thing about diplomacy is that it advocates patience.
Yeah.
You need to be patient and pursue your view and line until the other person understands. And if they don't, you wait for fate. That he's not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
And then you pick up the pieces with the next person who comes.
Yeah.
And for instance, that is why in diplomacy, you don't focus on the administration alone.
Yeah.
You look at various stakeholders in that nation.
Yeah.
Whether it's the academics, the think tank, the unions, whatever. Because at the end of the day, governments succumb to the pressure of the general population.
Yeah.
And those are some of the things which the South African government should be focusing on.
Okay, I get you. You've been out of the country for a while, but for sure, obviously, you follow closely and your heart is still in the country with the ruling party as well. But before I go there, I forgot when we were talking about the Polokwane conference, there was COPE that was formed at that time, and you were one of the defectors to COPE. From that time to being an ambassador, what happened? How were you? Was the ANC able to bring you back into their fold?
I don't know. What can I say? What happened was that indeed, after Polokwane, actually in the build-up to Polokwane, many of us were saying, what we are seeing is not the ANC, where people get killed, people get injured in ANC meetings and all of that. And we're saying, even the outcome is not going to be a true reflection of the will of the people. And we felt that we needed to restore the dignity of the ANC and continue with we used to use the concept of true ANC. And unfortunately, it was not meant to be. Our leaders, it started very well, and our leaders were told that by 2014, chances are that COPE could become a government. And because of that, everyone wanted to be the president. And then they messed up. They couldn't compromise. There was no patience. Then they messed up and COPE disintegrated. And some of us were approached and say, look, we still want you to play a role in the welfare of the country. Would you accept this type of a responsibility? And I said, by all means.
But at that time, especially around an individual, President Zuma, at that time, you sort of saw something as a collective that went to COPE, boycotting or rather not agreeing with Zuma being the president. Did you at that time envisage that by 2025 there will be MKP, a splinter from the ANC led by a former president of the ANC?
No, look, like I'm saying to you, experts were saying by 2014, if COPE continued at the trajectory which it started with, it could lead government, maybe in a coalition or whatever, but it could become a majority party. And so the biggest motivation for some of us to leave the ANC then was we felt we needed a true ANC, which will abide by the principles of the ANC and pursue the vision which was there. And unfortunately, some of us were not narrowly looking at the weaknesses of Zuma as a person. We're looking at the totality of the leadership of the ANC at that time. Like I'm saying to you, in the build-up to Polokwane. It started with the meetings. All the meetings were disrupted. Actually, there were no longer ANC meetings where people would be civil and debate and get the superior logic winning the debate of the day.
Yeah.
If they would come to meetings with baseball bats to beat up and intimidate everyone else. So for me, it was not a question of Zuma. It was a question of the whole crowd. And say, with this crowd, you can't have the ANC being the ANC as you know it. So Zuma was just the torchbearer. It was just the face, but not so much not so much what constituted the ANC then. Even now, my belief is that you need strong leadership, and from the ANC orientation which we're given, we're taught that it's about the collective. If the collective is good, the leader will be good. If the collective is weak, the leader will, irrespective of how good the leader may be, it would end up being weakened by the collective, because the leader doesn't make individual decisions.
Of course.
It's collective decisions. That's why even now, relatively speaking, you would say Ramaphosa is good. But things are not shaping up the way they were supposed to. Maybe because the collective is weakened. And the truth is that since Polokwane, the capacity of the ANC has been weakened in every conference. And so it doesn't matter who is leading then. If the collective is not that good, then it would end. When I talk of the collective, it's not only about the NEC. It also cascades to provinces and municipalities, because if you ask me, the weakest link, which is killing the ANC today, is in municipalities. If the ANC was to resolve the problems of municipalities, 80% of its problems will go away. So you can't blame Ramaphosa for the woes of the municipalities. You should look at those municipalities and resolve those. That's why the demise of the ANC started in the municipalities, in the metros. 2016, it went down, and it's continuing in that trajectory. And that trajectory is not going to turn around quicker for as long as the problems in the municipalities is not addressed.
But what's your view? What should be done in the municipalities? Should the strongest of comrades be deployed there? What needs to happen?
I wrote some article about it. I said 80% of the ANC problems is in the municipalities. And if everybody agrees with that assertion, then the focus must be there. And that focus must be a true focus, where you have the best of your best, like they do in other democracies, in France or anywhere else. Normally, your president ends up becoming the mayor of the capital, right? So with us, it's different. Even in China, they will tell you that the best performing leaders of provinces and municipalities will end up leading the national government. But with us, it's the other way around. You get the best guys up there and the weakest at the local level. So if the ANC was to, and there is an example which is there, which people are laughing at it, and I don't know why the ANC is not accepting the same approach, because it's the correct one. They say Helen Zille will be a candidate of Johannesburg. Why can't the ANC do the same? Take one of the highest ranking officials of the ANC to lead in all these metros. And I'll tell you the reason why that will work. It will work because in these municipalities, because they are peers, they don't respect one another.
Oh, yeah.
And because they don't respect one another, the decision-making processes and the defiance which we see everywhere is heightened at that level.
Okay.
But if you were to have an NWC member becoming a mayor of Johannesburg or a mayor of Gqeberha or Durban or Bloemfontein or whatever, Mangaung,
or even Tubat, a small university, municipality like Tubat.
Chances of those municipalities stabilizing will be higher, because whatever problem which crops up there will get the attention of the highest decision making or the decision making body of the ANC within weeks.
Yeah.
And the intervention will be done within weeks. But if that person has to go through the REC, the PEC, and by the time it gets to the NEC, the damage is done. You can't reverse it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's, if you were to get that interaction and correlation of your highest decision-making structures having a tap on the pulse of what is happening in municipalities, then chances of turning it around are higher. And the ANC, unfortunately, because of patience, which I was talking about, has got all the human resources at its disposal. In the past, because of the turnover of leaders at different levels, whether it's director generals, chief directors, MPs, MPLs, whatever you think of, ministers, you have got a lot of those with those experiences and brains which are loitering around. And they can only become angry and talk ill about the ANC. If all those brains were to find expression at this level where we're talking about, there's mayoral committees and whatever, in towards and all these places you're giving an example of, then you're going to turn that situation around, and the people there won't be any magic. The people will then develop trust in the ANC. At the moment, the reason why the ANC, and unfortunately the ANC is very good in diagnosing its problems. The problem is providing solutions to the diagnosis. And the reason why the treatment is not equal to the diagnosis is because normally the top leadership is one way or the other, maybe by omission or commission, implicated in those problems at the local level. I rest my case.
I get you. But looking into the future, what do you think is going to happen? Is the ANC going to reclaim its position, gather its strength, and be stronger again as it was, or now it's going down one direction?
If you have got a bucket of water with holes at the bottom, and you try to put water in, it will always get out. So you must first plug those holes. And some of the things which we are talking about should mean to plug the holes. And if those holes are not plugged, then the ANC can't recover. It can't recover by pronouncements that we're renewing or what, all the slogans which are being bandied around. The taste of the pudding is in the eating. It's not. It's not. Maybe I should not say it because I will sound very critical. But the truth of the matter is that the renewal is just spoken about.
There's no implementation.
But there's no practical action on the ground to show that you want to renew the ANC. If it was, if I recall well, if you go to the ANC's Polokwane resolutions on organizational renewal and development, the steps of what needs to be done and the diagnosis and everything is very clear what should happen. The things which have been said, buying money politics, buying votes, wara, all of them are well stated there. You go to Mangaung, the same thing. And when in Mangaung, what was the solution? Actually, in Polokwane, they stated all the thing, the diagnosis. And then the solution, political education. And then they went to Mangaung, stated the same problems, and they even said, we endorse the resolutions of Polokwane on organizational, building the organization and renewal. And then the solution, integrity committee. And they went to Nazareth 1, stated all the problems, solution, strengthening integrity committee. And not strengthen it. Just talk about it and not strengthen it. And then go to Nazareth 2, restated all the things from Polokwane up to Nazareth 1. And the solution, I don't know now what was supposed to be the action which need to be taken. But I suspect it would have said integrity committee step aside and what. And that step aside came. And it took how many months or how many years to debate what that step aside means. Until today, there's no clarity on what the step aside can achieve, because it conflates two issues. Conflates legal issues and moral issues. And it's not clear whether the things which, whether the problems in the ANC border on moral rectitude or on legality. And because the two get conflated, then there's no action. Because those who are forced to step aside are saying, we can't trust the security agencies of the country because prosecution is done selectively. People are charged selectively. If you're from this faction, you're charged. If you're from this faction, you are not being charged. So for me, and they argue that the charging of a person and appearing in court cannot be the best measure. But you ask them, what is the best measure? They don't know.
So to me, it's more about lack of clarity on what action to be taken. But also I've got a feeling that there's also a little bit of fear to take action.
It's not lack of clarity. I think everybody understands. That's why I took you through all the resolutions from Polokwane until Nazareth 2. People know what needs to happen. But the difficulty becomes, if you do the right thing, how many people will remain? Because the majority gets implicated. And therefore, and unfortunately, it becomes, in a situation like that, if there are people who feel that someone committed a sin or did something wrong and was not punished, and I'm coming after that person and I get punished, then the issue of selective morality. And unfortunately, that's why you end up legalizing, to being legalistic about the issue, when in fact it's a moral, ethical issue. And the ANC projects itself as a moral and ethical organization, but now the response to those challenges become legalistic. You can't talk of moral rectitude, and then become legalistic about it. And unfortunately, we said it in the beginning.
Yeah.
The country has lost that opportunity of continuing to talk about. Actually, we got overwhelmed by the problems in the ANC from Polokwane until now. That we're no longer talking about moral regeneration, we're no longer talking about conspicuous consumption and the right things, which Ubuntu, for instance. Everything become legalistic. The court of law, and some moral issues cannot be resolved in a court of law.
True.
It's supposed to happen and be managed by the principles of Ubuntu, community relations, and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm saying the best solution, because you asked about the solution.
Yeah.
The best solution of misdeeds and these things which are not correct is supposed to be coming from, the best punishment should be coming from the community, where the society, the community, shames and isolate people who do wrong things.
Yeah.
And that aspect of the community shaming and isolating people who do wrong things cannot be automatic. It must be inculcated in the community. That's why I'm saying in the beginning, when we talked of Ubuntu, moral regeneration, and conspicuous consumption, and all those sorts of things. The aim was to create that awareness in communities, and then get the communities to do things for themselves and becoming the police people. But now, when the ANC got overwhelmed with these problems, it forgets about all those things, and everything become legalistic. It's a code of law. And the people are bystander in their own development, when in fact they were supposed to be their own liberators. You remember the programs which used to be there? Masakane, Vugusenzele, what? When last did you hear a mayor or whoever talk about Masaka?
We don't hear about them at all.
And the problems are there. Many people are not paying for their municipal services and all those sorts of things. Nobody talks about Vugusenzele. And the ANC has projected after Polokwane a transactional approach of politics. Just like Donald Trump. You give me this, I give you this. And said to people, we'll deliver to you. You don't have to do anything. And people are folding up their arms and waiting for delivery. And when the delivery doesn't come, they say, these people are not trustworthy. But if they were made to understand that they need to play a role in the improvement of their own lot, the situation would have changed for the better. Amen.
The way you say it, from where I'm sitting, it looks like something really drastic needs to be done. It's not an easy thing. And as you spoke about patience, again, it's going to take a long, long time.
It will take 2 to 3 generations for things to be right. I say to people, just like this expression which was used before, that the one who's going to liberate us is not yet born. And if he's not yet born, then it means it's not going to be this generation. One old man told me, because I had a privilege when I was premier here of organizing a group of old people, ANC people, who became my advisors. It was constituted of Dade John Nkadimeng, Dade Ike Maputo, Dade Chulo, Titi Chulo, Dade Pare Pare, Ndate Rashitanga, Ndate Samson Do,
Yes.
and others.
Yes.
And these old men were advising me on how I should go about running government.
Yes.
Because, like, I was still young.
Yes.
And they were there to slow me down where I was running very fast. And in many discussions which I had with them, Ndate Maputo said something which was very profound to me.
Yeah.
That he trained in Soviet Union.
Yes.
In the 60s.
Yes.
And the Russians told him, and I see the relevance of this thing now.
Yes.
He said the Russians told them, those who they were training there, that the mistake with what many revolutions make is to think that you people who are here coming for training and wanting to take up arms against your enemy are the true leaders of your people. Actually, the true leaders of your people who are going to take the nation forward are not here, are at home.
Wow.
You are here because you are brave.
Yeah.
It's not because you are smart. The smart ones are remaining at home. They are going to school. They are going on with their normal lives. And the mistake many organizations make is that the brave ones can become leaders who should lead their nation out of poverty, out of whatever. And that's what makes revolutions to fail.
Oh, yeah.
And reflecting on it now, later as I grow older, I realize that we're making that mistake in many instances where when we do the deployments and stuff, we do the deployments are done wrongly.
Yeah.
Because someone is good at singing, at chanting slogans, or doing whatever thing which Mandash is not happy with, we think this person can be a leader. When in fact, the true leaders might not be very good at making noise and being loud and be seen all the time. And that's what is killing many organizations, and that's what is killing many revolutions not to succeed.
Because I was in the trenches, therefore I deserve this particular position.
Because now I deserve this, when in fact it should not be about being in the trenches. It should be about what you are able to offer at this point in time. Because challenges differ. The challenges of liberation struggle are different from the challenges of governance and development. And unfortunately, we conflate these issues and end up with wrong products. And if I thought that if many organizations were to learn from what this old man was saying, and many other good principles which on leadership of the ANC, we wouldn't have had these problems. Because, for instance, if you look at the seminal document of the historic document of the ANC of Through the Eye of the Needle, it's just a slogan. If you were to, the ANC was practicing that, it wouldn't have been where we are now.
And definitely.
And like the other thing which, if you look at possible solutions to the problem which we have, is when I talked about diagnosis of the problem and looking for the solution, that the ANC is good at diagnosing problems and not good at solutions. If the ANC was like, even now, where I'm seated, I don't think there's consensus that the ANC is in trouble. I think there are leaders who still think that things are normal.
Yeah.
And for as long as you have such a situation, you can't have a solution.
Yeah.
I think, and I always say to many comrades, the weakness of the ANC is that it's taking everything as an event. And that has gone also into government.
Okay.
When you sit in a meeting, what you are discussing in that meeting is an event of that meeting. When you go to the next one, you would have forgotten about the first, the thing which you discussed in the first meeting. And when you close up your books, those things remain there, which was discussed, until the next meeting when you're going to look at the minutes. That's when you think about it again. And and ironically, this thing has gone even into the administration of government.
Yeah.
Because if you look at government programs,
yes,
we argue that the ANC has got good policies and this and this and that, but nothing get implemented. Why? Because bureaucrats, South African bureaucrats, don't serve the nation. They serve the leaders who are there. If you can see what officials do in meetings, they say all the things which will make the minister happy or the president or whoever, and not so much what will be good for the nation. And until that is turned around, and the leaders are happy with that. That's why when a new leader comes into a department, it chases all the other people away. And they use an expression, you can't handle another person's dogs.
Exactly.
So, and unfortunately, it's a nice expression, but they do it literally. When in fact, if it was about the service of the people, it shouldn't matter who's there.
It shouldn't matter.
The mission should be the same.
Yeah, but maybe it's the question, who's the boss? The officials are feeling that my political head is the boss, the principal is the boss.
And
in fact,
it
should be the people.
You know why that is happening? It goes back to what we started with, that we start from a very low base. We are the first ceiling breakers in our families of poverty. So if I lose my job, it's not only me who's doomed. It's the whole clan, it's the whole family, it's the whole clan. That's why we are prepared to sleep with the wrong things. So those are some of the things which, as we develop going forward, we need to correct and make the administration insulated from the politics. And I know that the old man, Professor Sangwen, used to talk about it. And I remember the funeral of Zola Square. You can go and Google it. He made a passionate plea that he was appealing to the president. I remember his words. Give these people tenure. Give your DGs and the bureaucracy tenure. Protect them from the politicians. And it's not that, if you ask me, it's not what the leaders are saying, that we need capacity of the state, training civil servants at all levels, from DG to the municipal manager. That's not the problem. The problem is the interface between the political office and the administration. And the administrators are forced to do wrong things because they are afraid to stand up.
Yeah.
I see in these commissions, whether it's Madlanga or Zondo, they will say, why didn't you refuse? It's not easy.
It's not easy like that.
It's not easy because if you lose your job, you're doomed. And everything is reversed.
Yeah, you've got
and
to
unfortunately, these commissions look at it academically.
Yeah.
They don't look at the true essence of the problem, what you're dealing with. And for me, if that is not addressed, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah. So what's your take, lastly, on the government that we're having now, the GNU? Was it the best way to deal with it, or there could have been an alternative?
There couldn't have been. Actually, my personal wish was that the GNU was necessary after last year's elections.
Yeah.
But my configuration would not have been what we have.
Yeah.
My configuration would have been that at least the big four political parties should be included in that GNU.
Yeah.
If you talk of a real GNU, which was supposed to unite people of South Africa, because that is an expression of the majority of South Africans.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it was not meant to be. I would have wished that you have the ANC, you have the DA, you have got MK, you have got EFF in that government. And then the rest of the others could have played the role like, or maybe IFP, 5.
Yeah.
The rest could have played the role like they do, like Busa and others, becoming committee chairs and all of that in parliament.
Yeah.
So that the country should speak in one voice. And if we would have had such an arrangement, chances of even this national dialogue would have succeeded, and it would have been better to manage going forward. But now that you've got these voices which are shouting on the touchlines and becoming oppositional on everything for the sake of just being seen to be an opposition, is pulling the country back. So my view is that I would have preferred a government of national unity like the one of Mandela in 1994, where all the big parties would have been accommodated. And if I recall well, they constituted close to 89% of party representation in parliament. And this GNU, I think, constitute about 60 or whatever percent of that. So if it could have gone beyond 80 or 90 or 95 or whatever percentage, it could have created conducive conditions for a national dialogue and unity and cohesion in the country, and for a possible workable program which should develop through the national dialogue, because at the end of the day, it's like what we're talking about in the ANC, what needs to be done. In fact, it's not like people don't know what South Africa needs now. The problem is that people know what South Africa needs and what needs to be done. The question is accommodation. Whether my aspirations and the things I'm yearning for and my welfare is catered for in that arrangement.
Okay, I get you. Lastly, just to release you, just personally, you are there in Switzerland. what's your plan? Are you planning to go on until eternity, if ever we are still deployed there, or you have plans of coming back and play a role again locally in the politics?
Look, my contract is supposed to end next year.
Okay.
And in the family, I'm now an older surviving uncle. I need to play my uncle responsibilities to my clan and also to the broader community where I come from. Because, like I said to you, I was robbed early on in my life. The community was robbed of my close services early on in my life. I think I went to Parliament before I was 30. And therefore, I don't think I've done enough for the community. I need time to pay back to the community, which brought me up and made me what I am. At the moment, people call me and we talk over the phone and all of that. And it's not enough to deal with issues that way. It's better if you do it face to face, one to one and all of that. So I think I owe them some contribution. It might not be because I might not have that energy which I had 30 when I was 30, when I went to Parliament. But I think they should get the last of what is remaining of me.
Okay. Yeah, let's hope it works. Or wish you all the best in terms of that. And thanks a lot, Dati, for making time.
My pleasure, Dati. And good luck in whatever things you are working on. Let's hope and trust that our discussions will be our humble contribution to try and make South Africans to become a bit patient and focus on the right things, because anger is not going to take us anywhere.
True. Okay, thanks a lot.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.